Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Earlier this year, we picked up this Ram 1500 Rebel as a replacement for our Colorado. We've made a few slight modifications to it since we had it in the shop last, so today we thought we'd bring it in, give you a full walk around video, and go through all the modifications we've made. So let's check it out. All right, starting up here in the front, we've installed a hidden winch system from Vice Designs that allows us to keep the factory bumper intact. In that cradle, we've installed a Warn VR Evo 12S winch with a synthetic rope, and we've got a Factor 55 flat link up front here for connecting to our straps. Up above that, we've installed a Diode Dynamics. It's a single row 18-inch light bar that helps us, some nights we get rolling into camp a little after dark. That'll make it a little bit easier to find our way. All right, so for the suspension, we installed the Dobinsons IMS system. That gave us a 2.5-inch lift. Over the Rebel package, it's only about 1.5 inches since it does have about 1 inch from the factory. We got the new struts and springs up front. In the rear, we've got some bigger shocks and a new set of springs that are an extra 300 to 500 pound capacity, just to help carry some of the extra weight back there. For the tires, of course, we went with our Falken Wildpeak AT3Ws. It's a 285/75/18, which is about a 35/11/50. We mounted those up on some Icon Alloys Rebound wheels. Give us a little bit more offset, a little better stance. Doesn't really bring them out way past the fenders, so we're not getting into rubbing issues with that or throwing mud all over the side of the truck. All right, so up here on the hood, we've mounted some Diode Dynamics SS2s. We've got a set here as a ditch light, just to shine out to the sides a little bit, help us see any animals that might be hiding in the dark out there. We've mounted a couple more of those up here. These are going to shine out to the sides, more of a camp light. Up under the truck, we've actually installed a set of KC Cyclones. It's just a ground lighting for in camp, just to make sure there's nothing, no snakes or anything like that hiding under the truck. Got some Go Rhino. These are the rock sliders. It's a little bit narrower than their steps. They're body mounted. They're not super hardcore. I wouldn't try to put the whole weight of the truck on them, but we have tapped them on the rocks a few times before, and it's better than tearing up the rocker panels. So it's at least some protection for now. For what we're doing, for 90% of what we do, we don't need a true rock slider anymore. And so up top, we went with the front runner roof rack. That's the Slimline 2 system. We use these on most of our builds. It's a very, very versatile rack with lots of attachments. It gives us a good place to put things we don't want inside the cab or inside the camper itself, like firewood, extra fuel, things of that nature. All right, so moving back here, we have the Alu-Cab camper system. If you remember, we had the original canopy camper on our Colorado. This is the new version for the full-size trucks. The sleeping area remains the same as what was on the mid-size trucks, but the bed is actually a little bit larger to fit, obviously, the full-size truck. So one of the big things that gives us is the ability to have the 2 doors instead of just one. So we've actually built this out. This is where I keep all my kitchen stuff. Keeps it all nice and organized, but then we still have the ability to open this door up, and that still has our screens, so we can get some airflow in there without letting all the bugs and everything else in. Down here, we have 2 tables that we use for our kitchen setup. This is their side slide table. This actually folds up and fits right up in the hatch there. Got the mounting bracket. It could be mounted in many different places, but we like to keep it right there. This is the Alu table. This actually fits right up here above the cab, so you don't have this. You don't have to worry about where you're going to store the table, leave it in the back of the truck flopping around. Just makes things really nice and easy. Up top here, we have the shadow awning. This gives us plenty of shade and protection from the rain. It wraps 270 around the back of the truck. It does have a leg. It has some straps. You can tie it down. We've honestly never used it, and we've had it up in some pretty decent amount of wind, and it handles it very well. So we don't even bother tying it down. I wouldn't leave it up in a hurricane, but you use your head, everything will be fine. So it even has a prop rod in the middle there to help make sure the water runs off of it, and you can get the walls to wrap around it if you wanted to enclose this whole area and really make it a Four Seasons camping system with lots of space on the outside. All right, moving around to the back of the truck, we have a jerry can mounted up. This is on the rear molly panels from the Alu-Cab. So we got jerry can mount. This is actually a bayonet fitting. This is where we connect our diesel heater inlet hose. So that keeps the truck nice and hot on the inside. On the back door, we have our Max Tracks mounted up. We've got our Blue Ridge Overland gear. That's our XL tire bags. That's our extra large version. You can get tons of trash. We even sometimes we'll just put our dirty clothes back here once the pile gets a little bit too big on the inside after 3 or 4 days on the road. On this side, we have the Expedition Essentials, the 10-pound propane mount. Of course, we have to have the Alu-Cab can crusher, because what setup would be complete without a can crusher? Then this is all our utility section. We've got a 120 volt inlet to connect to our charging system on the Red Arc if we happen to be in camp at a campground where we can plug in. You can run extension cord over to that. Got our air outlet from our ARB. We've got some 12 volt Anderson plugs, and down here on the bottom we have that's a spray port, so it's a water quick disconnect for the water system. That's all hooked up to our tank on the inside. Moving on to the inside. So up here this is the Expedition Essentials paper towel holder. It's actually got this little spring-loaded flapper on top just to keep, I don't know if you've ever tried to keep paper towels in camp, but somehow magically the wind can roll an entire roll of paper towels out in about 5 minutes if you turn your back on it. We have our GP Factor. This is their full-size version of their stainless steel drop-down table. This has a slide-out bamboo cutting board. So this is generally where we make sandwiches, do lunch on the trail, whatever, so we don't have to get all the full kitchen system out. Nice and quick, just drop it down, do what you have to do, put it away. Got our screens on the back here so we can close this all in, and again keep the mosquitoes and all that type of stuff out while we're in camp. And we've got lights all around this. Obviously there's lights all on the inside. All right, so on the passenger side we have the shower cube from Alu-Cab. This is just a nice privacy tent, basically. Mounts up here right off the camper. Folds and unfolds nice and easy. It's like a shadow awning. It's one of the easiest ones we found for setup and tear down. Makes things pretty nice. Use this for showers, obviously. You can also set your portable toilet out here and gives you privacy or changing room if for some reason you can't be inside doing that. And yeah, so that'll just roll back up nice and easy, packs away. That's pretty much everything we have on this side of the truck. All right, so one of the big questions we get asked all the time is where's the bed and how you get into it. So the bed is actually folded up right now, which gives us all this room in the back as a living space when we're not actually in bed. And then when we do need the bed, it just pulls down. To get into the bed, obviously, we just step up here and climb up in. For most people, I'm 6 foot tall. I have plenty of room to sleep up here. For someone that's a little bit taller than me, once they're up there, there is a second panel that comes down and gives you another 18 or 20 inches of sleeping space. We like to leave that open. We'll set the toilet up down here. Then if you need to in the middle of the night, you can get up, do what you got to do. Don't have to go outside. Makes everything much easier that way. So moving on the inside of the truck here, we have our 13-gallon Alu-Cab water tank. That's all plumbed down to, there's a water pump underneath the cabinet system. It goes out to the quick connect we showed you on the outside. We've also added the bag storage system from Alu-Cab that's made just for that tank, so that works out. Gives us a little, more pockets, places to keep small stuff. we've built out the custom cabinet system on the inside. Tried to keep it simple. It's basically just a set of shelving on both sides. We've got some pockets here we keep our toolboxes in that we use to keep all our camp gear. This side, this is obviously the cabinet, the back side of the kitchen that we showed you on the outside. I've made just a simple little drop down table here, so we can use this in the morning. You can make coffee in here, do what you need to do. I actually put this in here for my laptop. Give me a little workstation for we're out on the road in camp. I gotta download videos or do what I gotta do with that. So that gives me a nice little place to work. So we've got a 110 outlet here. There's actually an inverter hidden right back here. So inside this cabinet, we have the 100 amp hour lithium battery from Battleborn, the Red Vision system with all of our switch controls. This is where all the fusing and controls for power to the air compressor, water pump, and all the lights inside the camper itself. Over here we have the Manager 30, which is the actual charging system from RedArc. That handles power from the truck, power from the solar panel on the roof, and the 110 power inlet on the back of the truck. So if we can plug that into shore power when we're in camp. Below that is our WeBoost power unit, and then the inverter that we talked about a little bit ago. Here we have the control center for the RedArc Red Vision system. This actually gives us a readout, has our switches for controlling our water pump, air pump, all that sort of stuff. Has a readout for batteries, how much power is coming in and how much power is going out, and of course how much we have left. This is kind of the brains of the system. From there we have a couple of plugs, USB and a cigarette lighter style 12 volt plug. All right, so moving on to the inside of the truck, we've taken out the whole back seat, building this platform system so we can mount our Snowmaster refrigerator. Underneath the platform, we've got storage for all of our tools, our recovery gear, all that kind of stuff that you don't want flying around in the back of the truck. Just makes it easy. We don't have to strap anything down that way. It's all up underneath. You can get to it here from the ends or through the access panel in the center. The back of the seat, we have our Blue Ridge Overland gear molly panel. We keep all the stuff that we want to get to fast. We've got our emergency first aid kit, fire extinguisher, bow saw, just a few things that easy to strap up there, and that about does it in the back seat. All right, last but not least, up here in the front seat, we have our switch panel. This is the Mini 6 from S-Pod. There's everything on, all the lights on the outside are tied into this system up under the hood, and then there's just one wire that comes back here. It actually goes to the switch panel, so we don't have tons of wires coming from every direction. Down here we have our Midland GMRS radio mounted on the side of our console here, and up on the dash we just have all these bunch of RAM mounts, everything up here to mount up cameras, phone mount, hold our radio mic, our tablet mounts over here. So everything, a lot of this stuff's on a magnetic mount, so it's nice and easy to just pop things in and out. And that about does it for the inside of the truck. All right, so that's where we are so far on the truck. One of the biggest questions I get asked all the time is, do you miss the Colorado? Do you like the full size? Yes, we love the full size. We wanted to get into a full size. We've had them in the past. We wanted to get back to it. It's the first time I've had a trail truck that was a full size truck. So as you've seen in some of the videos, it doesn't quite fit down the trail like a midsize or a Jeep or something like that. So, and as far as the build goes, that's where it is. Everybody knows the build is never done. So I've got some more ideas I'm working on for this winter. That's going to do it for this episode. So if you like what we're doing, please hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and ring the bell. That way you get all the notifications when we put out a new video. We really appreciate all of your the feedback. If you want to leave a comment, tell us what you like, what you don't like. Yeah, that's going to do it for this one. So we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.